Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another video. My name is Kat, known as phamerina.planning here on YouTube and on Instagram. And today's video is a plan with me for the week of February 24th through the 2nd of March using this knockout kit from the Pretty Pinko. Definitely the standout of the Advent, called Wintry Night, foiled in silver. And like I said, I got this with the Advent from last year. I know they did bring all of like the Advent kits to the shop, but since I already had them and I was being financially responsible, even though I wanted the decorative kit, I stayed away from the Pretty Pinko site during the time. So you did have the opportunity to get the this kit. Um, but I wouldn't know if you were able to get it in different foils, because that's the nice thing about the Pretty Pinkos. You're able to pick from a specific selection of foils. Um, but regardless, I got this in the Advent. Came with the sidebar color wash, the journal kit, the deco. What else usually comes? The foil sampler, but you got the foil sampler in a bunch of different colors. And then so that's it for the kit part. So for the spread part, have been I've seen a couple of people do it where they move the sidebar to where the start of the month is. So for this kit, I wanted to move the sidebar before the 1st of March, which was on a Saturday. So the sidebar went where conventionally Friday. Yeah, where Friday went. Yes, I had to think about it. Um, so that's why my sidebar is like not in the side. Um, and also, like, I think I made a comment during the Advent itself, like my opening my boxing unboxing thingy, um, that like the brown was an interesting choice. So since I knew we were going to be working with this sidebar color wash because I had it, so why not use it? I was very conscientious of the color story in my spread, like making sure that since I have this huge wash of brown color here, I needed to make sure that I also had the wash on the other side. So that was like when I sat down to this kit, that was what I was, very aware of. Um, I knew I wanted to pull in the floral washi up into the top. But I needed something like a foiled garland to go up there because I was like, I don't know. I don't Actually, surprisingly, I don't have any silver like snow garlands. And I don't think I've actually ever had them. I have like gold, and I think I might even have a rose gold, but I don't have silver, which was interesting. So I went flipping through and I stumbled upon those star borders at the bottom. And I was like, well, it's called Wintry Night. So let's play into like the night part. And I think I mentioned in a previous video, I was like, the only thing we kind of really have foil wise specifically for winter is really like snowflakes, maybe some like foliage. So I was like, I don't really want to do more snowflakes. I'm like, I'm already going to be pulling in foiled snowflakes for this. So I wanted to then lean into the kind of night theming of the kit. Because if you look at some of the boxes, they're like stars. I mean, this is a night kit with blue kind of representing the night. So I wanted to also lean into that because, like I said, I was kind of getting tired of the snowflakes. So for this spread specifically, I wanted to try this kind of like stacked boxes look. And at the time I was doing this, I was like, I cannot remember who I've seen do this. And now I know it's Shanice from Planners and Tacos. She's really adept at doing like this kind of not tilted boxes, but like kind of staggering the boxes where they're touching, but not necessarily like on top of each other. And she does it really well. So I really wanted to try that with this spread. Um, and since I had 2 floral boxes, because for me, if I'm going to do stacked boxes, where one is gonna be really covered, I would like for one of them to be a floral box. Um, I knew I had to, be very conscientious of, how the floral box is composed and all that jazz. So, yeah, I decided to do a set of this kind of stacked boxes and having the non-floral one be framed, like use my box liners for that. Um, because I just wanted to try something different. And then I was contending, oh no, you know what it was? I wanted to use this like London scene and try to integrate a piece of the large scene into it. And then at that point I was like, okay, so can I pair another full box in here? Yay or nay? I think the like final final result was a no. Um, but I really liked having that like London cityscape kind of mesh into that scene there, even though it wasn't like a perfect representation. Like the bridges do not actually line up the right way. But tis fine. It's cool. And then I use um a foiled script from A Dash of Sun. The problem is it's like super super dainty, so I can't even read what it says right now. Um, but I'll probably just pop it up in post what it actually says, because I cannot read it right now. It's so like delicate and scripty, and like while I love that look, it is very difficult to read. And here's me trying to figure out if I could squeeze another box in here. Um, I think ultimately I go no, because it looked balance wise, I think like, I wanted something at the top rather than at the bottom. So I believe, yeah, see, I'm trying to like balance out this top area, and it's just too much. So I have I feel like a lot of people are having like a love-hate, maybe not a lot of people. The people I watch or pay attention to have like a love-hate relationship with day covers. Here, I'm like, let's use them because they're here, and then I'm like, I kind of wish I didn't, because it's covered up a lot of the floral trim. And now here I'm like, this looks silly without a date cover over it. And then I pulled it up and I was like, nah, it's kind of getting lost. So I feel like I should have just went ahead and used like not the date covers for this. So for the other side, like I was mentioning earlier, I knew I had to be super aware of my color balancing, of making sure I pulled brown into this side of the spread just to make sure that it didn't seem heavy, like, like, I don't know if this makes sense. Like, if you have too much of one color on one side, it feels like it's gonna fall, like, like a seesaw, right? Too much weight on one side, it's gonna, like, fall to one side. So I knew I had to be very aware of the browns on the side. And again, I did my like stacked boxes. Again, I wanted to use, I really was really intrigued. This was like one of my favorite boxes, this like film strip with the brown in the background. It was just a very different color, like than the rest of the boxes. So I really enjoyed that box the most. Um, and then I, pull more snowflakes, because like I said, we don't got anything for winter but snowflakes. Um, and I was trying to figure out what did I end up doing for my sidebar? I actually do not remember off the top of my head. It wasn't that long ago that I did this. See, yeah, here's me looking at my boxes, making sure that things are balanced. I think I wanted to pull in the quote. That's what it was. I wanted to pull in the quote. The quote box was, heavily featuring brown color. So I decided to go ahead, stick that up there in the Monday spot where the sidebar conventionally goes. So it kind of didn't look like too out of place here. Um, I was wondering if I I think originally I wanted to pull up that like that torn paper washi from Dash of Sun to tuck the box under, but decided against it. Just line the top of it with a snowflake header. Yeah, that's what those are. The foiled snowflake header there, and then tuck this full box underneath there just to kind of have them connecting. And these like snowflake text patterns are also from the Pretty Pinko, again from the Advent. Um, I told myself during this spread that I needed to use them wherever I felt like I wanted to, because I have this weirdness in my head about like not having enough things, right? Am I the only one? Like, if I think I talked about it like in a video recently too. Like, if I don't have the thing, I'm gonna be sad. But that's the whole purpose. You have to use them. And then for the bottom here, I see. I went back to the other corner. I pulled in the figure skater. Um, just to put something down at the bottom, because I guess for me recently I've been kind of looking at the four corners and making sure the four corners look balanced. So in the bottom right we had that large floral, so like the bottom left needs something, top left needs something, and top right needs something. So I've been like really like thinking about balancing elements in the spread recently. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I have, like, an abundance of stickers, because I go a little bit extra. Some could argue a lot extra. And I needed all of the things, so I needed to use all of the things, so I shouldn't worry about, like, not using all of the things. And I think flow within the spread has been something that I've been super aware about recently. So if pieces are already touching, I kind of want to have them continue touching throughout the spread. So that's why I put this center area, the center area of the page. I put the what is that? The blue snowflake text thing, also from the Pretty Pinko's Advent. I put that there to kind of connect the two sides together. So that's the kit. And that's pretty much the base. I've already gone on to the day by day. So on to Monday. Monday, we started with a coffee. Monday, I had the day off of work. Not sure why, but I had the day off of work. And since I had the day off of work, I napped with Bub that day since, the kid's still around. um, on Tuesday, oh, yeah, so with my job, if someone is in training, their trainer needs to be with them all day, the whole time, which makes sense, right? If I'm instructing somebody on how to do something, I need to be there to answer questions, observe what they're doing, correcting any mistakes, yada, yada, yada. So on Tuesday, we have two processes, and the trainee was going through both processes. So therefore, um, I had to be around for both processes, because normally if we kind of split up the team. So one team does the morning, one team does the afternoon. But since the trainee is in training, they need to do both. Therefore, I need to be present for both. So that was a really long day. Um, and then we had pasta for dinner, and I edited a haul that night. Um, I pulled in this like coffee front, storefront deco because I wanted to. Um, I've just been like trying to use all of the pieces and not necessarily worry about like the story that it tells. I just am kind of, I don't want to say throwing stickers down for the sake of it, but I want to use what I have. So if it's a matter of like just using it to fill in some space, as long as it is like relevant, I'm going to use it. I don't know if that made any sense, but it made sense in my head. On Wednesday was an ACTA day. ACTA days are long days. The ACTA does most of the work itself, but um you kind of have to sit there and watch it in case something does happen, which is really annoying. You kind of a quiet, like when nothing happens, that's good, but when nothing happens, it's boring. That's how it go, That's how it go in a job sometimes. We had some work drama. Generally speaking, that's the only reason I really pull out the dumpster fire icon is just because of work drama. Things have been kind of weird at work. The vibes are just not right. Oops, sorry. I hit the mic. And we're not really sure why. But the vibes have just been off. And I'm not happy about it. um, and that day, Bub and his TT were like playing and they were running around, and he took a little tumble and he just wasn't feeling well, because I think she fell on top of him. So like, obviously, smaller, bigger person falling on a smaller person, you get concerned about bones and how if someone, if something's broken. Nothing's broken, he's fine, he's just not feeling well that day. So on Thursday I had a one-on-one with my boss. It was also a paperwork day because our procedure is in the afternoon. So I had time during the day to do some paperwork. I did, when I was laying this part down, flip my pause and unpause. So that's why things kind of just popped in place. That was my bad. I walked to 30th Street with a coworker, and the February mystery for Sadie Stickers came in that day. So yay, happy mail. On Friday, again, more work drama. I also had a Dunkin' run, and when I talked about this in my like Instagram, like I think it's called my in progress highlights. I was like, yeah, there's like this weird space, and I'm not really sure what to do with it. And T, Comfy Tea, she messaged me. She's like, yeah, I like to use like one of the long boxes and mark like something like that has the long period in it, and I turn the script sideways. And I was like, you know what? Why not try that? Even though it's gonna like kind of look weird, let's just do it. Why not? Do something fun. Do something different. Does it look funny? Yeah, but do I really care that much? I don't know yet because I have yet to look back at the spread since I've done it. So I guess you'll hear about it during the quarter one flip, how I feel about it when when I've had time away from it, and come back to it. I'm like, oh, did I do that? Oh, silly me. So I had a Dunkin' run. That's where we left off. When I put Bub to sleep that night, I like seriously fell asleep with him. So it must, sometimes that happens when I'm really tired and I like go to like I put him to bed, and then like I fall asleep, and then I like shake awake, and I'm like, oh my god, what time is it? And it's like 9:30, and I'm like, oops, there goes my night. um and then for the rest of the night, I watch TikToks with the hubby. He doesn't really watch TikTok, but sometimes I fall in a hole and he falls down that rabbit hole with me. So that happened. On Saturday was Hello March, first day of March. So I try to like keep less snowflake elements because March to me is like a spring, even though it is still winter for the first half of March. But I try to be very conscientious of like snowflakes, even though it looks like I failed at that. I remember when I was sitting down to do it, I was like, don't put many snowflakes on here. I did anyway. Doesn't really matter. We did a grocery run that morning. Bub read to me. He picked up a book and he's like, once upon a time, something, I forget what it was, but once upon a time this happened, the end. And I was like, did you just read me a book? And he's like, yeah, I did. So I marked that. It was a super windy day that day. And then on oh my goodness, I'm so behind. On Sunday we did a Target run, we had a rough nap time, and I did some voiceovers. And here is the spread. Here are the kit leftovers. um I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I would love it if you gave me a little like, not me necessarily, gave the video. You don't have to like me, but if you gave the video a little like, leave a thought, leave a comment with any of your thoughts down below. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.